What is up, everyone? Welcome to the last reaction in our Underworld Saga. This is the end of the first arc of Epic the Musical. I am here as always with the incredible Panda.
Hi guys.
We are nervous. We are traumatized. We
Uh-huh.
are broken.
Uh-huh.
We have been dragged through hell and dragged through our emotions in song 1 and then given the least helpful prophecy I've ever heard in Act 2. And now we're on to a song called Monster. And I don't know if this is going to be, hey, you now have to fight a monster, or if this is going to be, oh, this is when a man becomes a monster.
Uh-huh. You got your bear?
Either way,
You still got your bear?
I still have my teddy bear.
Okay.
We made it through the last song without needing him,
I've got my
but
blanket.
we have this for emotional support. We'll see what we need here. To say we're nervous at this point would be an understatement, especially because, like I said at the start of the first song of the Underworld, this in a normal musical, this would be right before intermission, and this would be the last song before intermission.
Those are always huge.
Yeah, those are always like leave you on the edge of your seat. Oh my god, I can't believe we now have to wait to see what happens next moments. So I'm so curious what this is going to be.
And as
We're
much
not
as
going to put it off.
Yeah, no, let's
Oh,
not put it off. We got to get this out of the way.
yep. We want to keep talking to avoid it, but we have to get into this. So we're going to jump into it right now. As always, check out the original video linked in the description below. Give it a like, give it a comment, and subscribe to both Gigi, who did this animatic, and to Jay for the original audios. And we're going to get into this. Here we go. This is Epic the Underworld Saga Monster.
How has everything been turned against us? How did suffering become so endless? How am I to reunite with my estranged? Do I need to change? I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed. What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea is me?
Ooh. My man is believing it now.
Line of I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed.
Mm-hmm.
We see him throughout the whole thing wrestling with what he should do, what everybody else is telling him to do, what he feels like he should, you know. And in that time, he's always held to what he believed he should do. However,
Mm-hmm.
everyone else has suffered for it, and so he's crossed the line of their trust and safety.
Yeah, look at the first song in the Cersei saga.
Mm-hmm.
He literally had these first made what's his name?
Eurylochus.
Names. Eurylochus, Yuri. Yeah, he literally had Yuri saying to him, "No, we don't need to do this. We just need to go. We just need to go home." And he's like, "Nope, I've got to save my men." Honorable decision, but again, not listening to the people around him. Yeah, I feel like he's really, and like maybe we took the prophecy wrong. Maybe it was the prophet saying to him that he needs to change if he wants to get home. That he
Maybe.
can't be the same person to get there, and so maybe he needs to take all this on board now. But yeah, he's really letting it hit him. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, immediately vocals are just stunning as always. But yeah, let's keep going.
Across the sea is me. What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong? What if I'm the problem that's been hiding all along? What if I'm the one who killed you every time I gave to guilt? What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? What if I'm the monster?
Damn.
Ooh. Okay.
Also, I feel like I paused right on a shift here. I think something's going to happen. I feel like I paused right before a shift, just
Yeah.
from the glitch of the animatic there.
Yeah.
But Oh my
It
god.
is a big shift from where he was to, because we talk a lot about, when we're dealing in this musical, talking about his hubris, his pride, and it's a huge shift from, knowing what to do. We've got to do this. This is the conviction to the, oh God, what if I was wrong this entire time?
Yep. Yep. And it feels like he's now finally hearing, or at least understanding, what Poseidon was saying to him. That, like, he's sitting here going, what if I've been too kind to the monsters we've fought and not kind to my people? That Poseidon was literally saying ruthlessness is mercy. He says to yourself, but also to your people. Like, if he'd killed that Cyclops, his men would have been safer.
Right.
And that's what they were saying to him when they first got to the underworld. He's now sitting there going, oh God, is me showing mercy, is me trying to be kind, causing all this?
Right. Which is kind of
I don't know what
which is a dangerous thought, because it's like he started, he's starting off good with the, what if I was wrong, and jumping into things and not listening to everybody. And then, what if kindness is what got us here? That's
wrong.
a dangerous thought.
Yep, exactly.
So
but it's also a dangerous thought for a leader to
Mhm.
be indecisive, to be questioning
Right.
themselves.
Mhm.
Because as much as we said about he's not listening to people and things like that, indecision in those crisis moments will just get them all killed.
Yep.
So he's got to be careful how much he's questioning himself. But I need to see what's going to happen here. There's going to be some kind of shift. I can feel it. Let's go.
Ourselves. What if I'm the monster? Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right? When the witch turns men to pigs to protect her nymphs, is she going insane? Or did she learn to be colder when she got older and now she saves them the pain? When a god comes down and makes the fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off? Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the...
Oh my God.
First of all, I love the beat. It picks up all the music, everything picks up. But I love how there's a constant heartbeat in the back.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And
Sorry.
No, and I like how, sorry, oh gosh. Anyway, I like how, especially when we're talking about everybody and their motives behind things,
Yep.
it gets me because, you think about the Cyclops is a monster. He didn't seem all that bright. But honestly, were we just not giving him enough credit?
Well, that's the thing. What I was going to say is we've commented in the reactions previously about the fact that the writing of this is so genius because no one is just black and white evil.
Right.
They all have their own justifications. They all had their own motivations. And now we're seeing that it was building to this point of literally laying that out in front of you, going like you were immediately always rooting for Odysseus, you know, but in these situations, were these people justified?
Right.
And we got our first glimpse of that during Cersei when we were like, oh yeah, she's just trying to protect her people. She's not evil. She's willing to help you once she knows the people aren't in danger. And now Odysseus is really having it all dawn on him.
Right. And, and even like with Poseidon, because we were sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's cold. He's doing this just to save his reputation, blah, blah, blah. But did he start off feeling it and then just be, put that line, put that wall so that he couldn't be hurt? And now it's all just a front. And he's got to protect that front or he's going to be hurt more.
Yeah, with Poseidon, it's like we said, the gods have to keep man in. They said gods have to keep man in check, but we also have to remember that the Cyclops are his children. So you took my blood, I'll take yours. Like it was yeah. There's a lot more to each of these things they've gone through, and now even he's questioning about his own actions during the Trojan War. Sneaking in, killing all the people while they slept and everything. And we see that flash of the baby again, and he's asking, is he the monster in the same way that he sees them as the monster?
Right.
Or are all of them justified in their actions? Because he now groups himself in his mind the same way he groups those. Also, animatic here. Look at that
gorgeous.
art.
Absolutely
that is just
gorgeous.
Awesome. Let's keep going.
Use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the monster and threw that guilt away, would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay? If I became the monster to everyone but us and made sure we got home again, who would care if we're unjust? If I became the oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. And deep down I know this well. I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster.
Damn, boy!
So he's getting that driving captain idea back. That cold leader exterior.
Yeah, but this is the polar opposite for me from song number 1, okay?
Yeah.
Because song number 1, I was sitting there going, story here is so heavy, I can't even focus on music and vocals. I can't even hear that right now. Like, with this, the story is still there. I'm picking up on the story. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Odysseus. But you're going to come at me with music and, like, the vocals here being that fire?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I wanted to get up out of my chair when he started going into this almost like rap type flow, but aggressive of the bada-bump, bada-bump, bada-bump. Oh my god. That, the way that captured the character there, the way that was done was so explosive and so incredible. That hit me and hyped me so damn much.
Yeah. Because that's where that driving of the music is showing where he's trying. I don't know if he's going to continue on for the rest of the song like this, but he is trying to put himself in that mindset of cold, calculating leader, because we've got to get home. So whatever happens, whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it.
Yep. And it feels like when that faster beat came in, when that more aggression came in, he was making his choice there. This is the point where, nope, I'm switching. If I've got to be the bad guy, the villain, the monster, to get my men home, to get myself home, so that I can, stop having all these tragedies, stop losing everything I've lost. Yes. And again, it referenced Athena, it referenced Polites, it referenced his mother. If I have to be this monster to not lose 500 more men, I'm going to do it. And it's hard to argue with that logic, but what's it going to cost him is the question.
He even mentioned the fact that if he had to drop another child off a wall, he would do it.
Yeah. And again, the way this animatic's been done of showing the shadow figure of him and the intentional choice of him in his full war gear compared to the ragged, soft-looking man that he is now. This broken, shabby-looking guy compared to this stoic warrior of aggression and fear, this shadow figure that doesn't even have as much of a soul to it as the other drawing does in the animatic. Brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I've gone way back. I need to hear that whole section again because, like I said, it made me want to get up out of my damn chair. Fire.
Sure we got home again. Who would care if we're unjust? If I became oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
That's the thing as well. The fact that it comes in with the monster line being sung by either the crew that he's lost or the crew that he's still got. Either way, that he knows that it's very likely going to be his men thinking of him that way. And then you throw in that call back to the ruthlessness is mercy on yourself. He's starting to get that mentality, and I love that.
And deep down I know this well. I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow, and I'll
pause there.
We might have seen the same thing. Go ahead.
I know. You go ahead. I was pausing because you were holding your hand up.
Okay, two things. First of all, the way this is going, he's being very defiant, very angry. I'm going to become the monster. But I don't know if it was intentional or it's just Jay's voice that invites that kind of feeling. But it feels like it's still he's putting on a front, and in the back he's still very scared of what he's saying. He doesn't want to, but he's, so I don't know if that was an intentional choice of the music or if that's just the way that Jay's voice comes across. But it's sort of like a scared little boy shouting at his mom, you can't control me kind of thing.
I feel like if we're going to go with the animatic as well as the vocals, I feel like you're right about it being an intentional choice, because the moment where he imagines himself getting home, he's collapsing onto her lap, and like it's almost like the scene of him with her where she's holding him right before she pulls off the headband that he's wearing, his position here. I'll show you if you can get it. There we go. Like, that's not a happy moment. That is a moment of kind of defeat, and the look on his face is very, what have I done? What have I had to do? Rather than I got home. Who cares?
Right.
He's still trying to convince himself here. Yeah. But the way that this has built after that, it comes in with that rap-ish bit or that oomph bit, and it's got it a little bit. And when he's talking about who is lost, and then after that, it comes in full on with this boom, boom. If I have to do this, I'll do it. If I have to do that, I'll do it. And then builds to that huge chorus at the end there. It's just absolutely fire. But I'm curious as to what in the animatic here is the symbolism of his wife pulling off that headband.
Remember, Telemachus Polites had the headband, but he wrapped it around his arm.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure if it's meant to be Polites. That was in that animatic. I'm not sure if that's meant to be Polites' headband that he's wearing.
Yeah.
It might have been the animatic that showed that. But yeah, if it's Polites' headband that she's pulling off him, you could link it back to, number one, you could link it back to the whole thing. Polites' whole thing was, even when he's re-singing in the Underworld, greet the world with open arms. Yep. Like this positivity, be positive, don't be this aggressive monster. So it could be a moment of, you don't deserve this. He wouldn't have wanted this. You're not worthy of this anymore. It could be that in his mind, he's casting that aside now. There's a lot of symbolism that could be taken from that moment of that being pulled away in the animatic here. But again, I don't know if that's an animatic choice or if that's something that Jay said would be in the musical in one of his live streams.
Right.
There's a lot that could be taken from it. But either way, goosebumps from how this built.
Oh, yeah.
Goosebumps from the vocals. Incredible. I want to go back and go through it again. I'm sorry. I want to go through the whole thing, but just this last chorus was fire.
It's just that good.
Lurking deep below, I must become the monster, and then we'll make it whole. Penelope, hopelessness is mercy upon ourselves. I'll become the monster. I became the monster.
The way that ended, can you imagine being in a theater? Being in a theater, you've had that big song. He's at the front of the stage, does that last, I'll become a monster. And you think that's it, and then it comes in with that bwom noise.
Oh, God.
And then everything goes to black. Oh, what a way to end the first section of it.
Wow. Yeah.
God.
That filled my expectations of being the finale of the first act.
Yeah.
For sure. Not just the final song, but the final saga as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I was expecting, I didn't know how this could end in a way that wasn't going to be this sad thing, because from the first song, we're like, ooh, depression's hitting hard. But having it, because the point of the last song before the intermission is to set up the second act. And we're set up in the second act now with him making this decision of, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You'll deal with the monster now. I'm going home, try and stop me. And it's going to be a very different guy in the second section here.
Well,
Damn.
yeah, and he's definitely like you were saying, because this saga went from, okay, he got there and he's dealing with the trauma of being in there. He gets the prophecy, which it seems like it doesn't really help. It just tells him, well, you're going to change or you have to change something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's saying that he's going to change. He's going to be ruthless. He's going to be cold. He's just going to do what has to get done to get home. But
Yep.
he's not out yet.
Yeah.
So is
Can
he
I
going
say
to
something as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go. No, you go.
Yeah, but the thing about it is he going to is he going to is he going to do that to get out, or is he going to falter again at some point and realize maybe that's not the best idea? He's been all over the place.
Yeah, we have to see if he's going to cross his own lines, like he said at the start. That the only line he hasn't crossed at this point is his own. When push comes to shove, will he cross those lines? But what I wanted to say in terms of how he sees himself, the way that's presented in this animatic is incredible. Because at the start of this song, when he's first on his own, he walks up to. I'm just going to try and find the moment here. Here we go. He walks up to some reflective surfaces, and he's seeing himself in them as he is. Then he lays down on the ground, and we have that shadow there. But it's just a shapeless form. It doesn't have what it is.
Right.
Halfway through the song, we then shift into that form, that dark side of him, taking on that full soldier look of his darkest moment where he sacrificed that baby. That's the image that he now has in his head of that soldier. Then at the end here, as he's walking towards the ship, look at all the reflections. None of them are the shabby man. None of them is him as we saw him at the beginning. Now they're all that dark figure, which you can still see. A lot of them have that soldier's, I forget what that thing's called, but the like Greek headdress thing that a soldier would wear.
Yeah.
Just reinforces his shift of perspective of how he is seeing himself in his own damn reflection.
Boy.
That is really, really cool work on the animatic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so desperate to see what happens in the next saga now.
Yeah, we're gonna need some like I keep saying, like, I go to my therapist and he's like, these are fictional characters. I said, but it doesn't matter.
Yep. That's what it needs to be, because this is hitting way too hard. And I'm gonna put it out there. I feel like I could sit down tomorrow and read the full Odyssey. If I hadn't seen this, it would not hit this emotionally. I'd be like, oh yeah, cool story, bro. But watching it in front of me, hearing these songs and having the characters put those emotions in there, makes you so damn attached. And my brain is now in this place of 50% of my brain is like, oh, Odysseus, don't lose yourself. Don't become a bad person and all that. The other half of me is like, you do what you got to do to get your people home, boy.
Yes.
You do what you've got to do. And I feel like a different animatic could have done this song in a way where towards the end of it here especially, he's sailing back out of the underworld.
Right.
And all those things that were haunting him before, he's able to just ignore now. Because a part of my brain is like, you're still in the underworld. You have to start to tread your way back through all that trauma again. I don't even think he's going to glance twice at the person he is now.
No, and that's the genius that's the genius of the writing we've been talking about all along, that at the beginning, for pretty much up until this point, okay, occasionally we would be very sad for Odysseus as he's losing people. But up until this point, we've been very frustrated with him. With his attitude and how he is thinking with, his pride rather than anything else. And at this point in time, we don't want him to change.
Yeah. Because what are going to be the repercussions of that? Who's going to be left? And I feel like this is a perfect example of that situation as well, where if we hadn't had Song 1 lay out everything he's lost, maybe when he heard the story in Song 2 of what he had to do and what he had to become, or who was going to be the person to make it home, then he wouldn't have made this decision in Song 3. Right. That is the genius of the writing, is that each song has set up like a domino effect for this exact moment to happen. And not only lays it out for the character, but lays it out for us, the viewer, to sit there and go, justified, I get it. I can't wait for the next saga.
I can't either. I'm just I think that we are on the brink of something that we've always been on the brink of something very special. I think it's really going to come to the fore in the next
Mm-hmm.
half.
Yeah. And the way that they finished off this pre-intermission moment solidified in my brain the fact that it knows what it's doing. The finale of this, whatever it's going to be, is going to be huge and epic and amazing. I'll put it out there. I'll be honest. I'll lay it out in front of you. When I was first told about Epic, when I was first told to react to Epic and, all that, I was like, cute, a fun little YouTube musical, My expectations were low. That stopped being the case the first song of the first saga because it blew me away instantly. Now, this thing has its hooks in me in a way that I can't even verbalize. I need this to be live on stage. I need to go and see it every single day that it's in my country. Just saying. Absolutely amazing. Guys,
Incredible.
We will be back next week on Panda's channel for the first song in the next saga, the post-intermission saga. I don't know the name of that one yet, but we will look it up between now and then. This is how much that we don't want spoilers. We don't even know the name of the next saga, so we'll look it up between now and then and film our reactions to that. You'll know we film them in blocks of saga, so if you have any suggestions between now and then for the animatics, leave them in the comments. Please check out the original of the animatic for Gigi, linked in the description below. Also check out the original audio by Jay because we need to support this project as much as we can. So give that a like and a comment and subscribe to him. Leave us a like and a comment both on my channel here and over on Panda's because it helps us out so much with the algorithm. And please subscribe. It costs you nothing and it helps us out more than we can ever say. So please subscribe to the channel. And we also, if you want to support us even more than that, we both have Patreons that help us keep doing what we are doing here on YouTube. Panda does a bunch of awesome content over on hers. She has 2 amazing tiers. And right here on my channel, I do weekly polls for the reactions that come on the channel here. I also do weekly TV show reactions, a monthly movie reaction, a monthly live stream, and at the highest tier, you can get a guaranteed reaction right here on the channel. So check all that out on Patreon. We will both see you in the next saga. Have yourself a fantastic day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.